Okay? Money comes to people who show love to it. Money comes to people who likes it. Am I spending too much? Is there a way I could save a little bit more? No more debt. Avoid any bad debt. Any debt that's not going to bring you money, don't take it. In this video, I'm going to share with you 8 money tips to master your financial freedom. So again, I've been approached by so many people, but the person that really draws my attention is one gentleman who approached me recently. I'm not going to call names, but let's name him John. John is in a good job, and he's working for a firm where he's making about £2,000 per calendar month. Life seems to be amazing. He's got his 3-bedroom house is rented. He lives with a family. He's in an okay area, and his kids are doing really well at school as well. He's been able to go holidays maybe once a year. Sometimes he visits families as well. So he's kind of in an okay area. But when he approached me, he said, life seems okay, but it looks like he's living paycheck to paycheck. And whenever he tried to think about investing, by the time he thinks about it, or by the time he plans about it, he looks at his expenses. He's got nothing left over at the end of the month. He's got his mortgage to pay, and he has his kids' commitment to pay for, and he's got the bills, and he literally spends all his money by the time he even gets the money in some occasions. So he approached me and wanting to know really how we could start in properties for additional income, and whilst he's really struggling right now even to make ends meet. So in essence, he was living paycheck to paycheck. So in this video, I'm going to share with you 8 money tips I gave John in this example to be able to take their financial situation into their own hands and ultimately get them to start investing and make passive income without relying on their employers. Before we get going, if you like this video or any of my videos, smash the like button below, subscribe to my channel for more amazing videos. Let's get going. And again, before this video makes sense to you, you have to watch it at the end, until the end. If you're not gonna watch it until the end, or you're one of those who start things, don't finish it, you best not start it, because you're not gonna get a value out of it, okay? So when John approached me, I looked at John's financial situation. We realized there's nothing left over. Okay, and we looked at it in a fine line to understand what is he spending his money on. What really is the core thing he's been spending on money? As we looked at, sometimes he's going to places like he is also paying subscriptions like Amazon Prime, Netflix, Sky Sport, and he has all those subscriptions. And obviously he also has a gym membership which he doesn't use, and he's got lots of stuff that he's been paying for that he's not really using. So what we did first is to set his budget, right? We looked at his salary. We know he's making about £2,000 take home. So we looked at his salary. I said to him, John, in order for this to work for you, let's start from the hard notch, okay? Let's take 20% off your £2,000 straight away, okay? We took 20% of it, which was £400. So we put £400 aside. I said, now what we need to do, you know, the 1,600 we've got left over, our budget needs to work within this price. Okay, it has to work within this remaining balance. He was thinking, what, 20% straight off with when I've just told you the money's not even enough for me to be able to live on? I said, yes, we need to stick to that. Let's start to that first. So what we, out of this 1,600, we've got back of our mind, we went through his expenses. We said, we looked at that, we said, yes, this is fixed cost. This is something that you have to pay for. This is something that we really think you need to stop, like the Netflix, Amazon Prime, and other subscriptions that you're not using, that we need to stop, okay? He was a bit reluctant at this point because obviously his kids wants to watch Netflix, his kids wants to watch Amazon Prime. We were a bit kind of okay, if they want to watch Netflix, they need to pick one of them. They need to pick one of these platforms to watch what they want to. And he had Disney as well, by the way. I was thinking, we need to pick one of those. So we were able to kind of streamline that, okay, take that out of the way. We looked at other expenses. We looked at his bills. His bills were absolutely crazy. We looked at his bills, said, what can we do with this? I said, tell me then about your lifestyle at home. How do you use your energies? He was like, oh, really? We just use it. Then I start asking him questions like, okay, if you're having a shower, do you leave the shower run while she scrub your body? He was like, no, I don't, but my wife does and my children's does. Then I explained to him why that is a bad thing. I said, I understand they don't want the water to go cold. Let me explain to you what consequence that is doing to you by opening the tap and leave it run without using it. Number one, you're using water, right? That water is a water that you're not using to clean yourself. Number two, the boiler is running. And guess what? When the boiler runs, you get charged for the gas that makes that boiler run. And thirdly, electricity is also on. How? Because that boiler is powered by electricity. So basically, all your utilities are on at that point. Then he was like, you're right. Okay, that started making sense. I said, okay, in order to change that, I know, it may not be lots of things to kind of change the way the expenses go in terms of bills, but it made sense. So I said, okay, speak to your wife, get your children around the table, speak to them about that, see if they can stop running the tap while they're not using it, especially when they are brushing their teeth, right? Then he goes like, okay, that's fine. So we worked on that, spoke to family. Listen, we're not going to leave the tap running or bath running if we're not using the water. We're not going to leave the sink running, the tap sink running if we're not actually cleaning our mouth. That then helps it. Then we looked at it in a different way. I said, okay, let's look at the lights, like the electricity that you use in your property. That's like, do you leave lights on when you're not using them? He said, absolutely, Rahim. My kids leave the lights on everywhere in the property, right? They've got their games that they play. They never turn those games off. I said, okay, now we need to make a change to that. Tell them, explain to them the consequence of not doing that. So what I did to him, basically, I said, get the bill, get one bill, find one Saturday or Sunday, sit with them together, right? Show them how much you're paying in bills, right? Show them the figure, right? Then tell them why that figure is high. We are able to crack that nut, okay? So he presented the bills to them. He said, this is as a result, you're leaving the lights on, leaving the water running, leaving your games on, right? Even you're not playing them, and the TV on, right? So again, that helps John literally save lots of money by just doing that simple thing. Then we move to mom. When mom is cooking with his wife in this example, literally she turns the extractor fan on, she turns the lights on, she turns all the ovens, literally everything is on. You know, African parent, when they cook, right, they literally cook for literally whole day, right? We find a way how we could reduce the number of hours you cook, right? You only need to cook for a certain number of hours. And then obviously we reduce that number of hours, and he saves almost 50% on his bills. 50%, believe you me or not, he saved that amount of money. So, and then that is then we worked on the budget. We realized actually that 1,600 is even less he was meant to spend. So we were able to get him to go down to about, including his mortgage and all his other expenses, to about maybe 1,589-ish, I think. We were able to get him down. So he was able to get about an extra 10 or 12 pounds to add on his 400 pounds. So now we know he's got that 400 pounds. Then what I said to him, listen, that 400 pounds, make sure you take that 400 pounds before any bills goes out. Right? Make sure you do that. So set up an account, a different account, get the numbers, destroy the card. Never ever use that card. You don't even have an app for it, okay? Just get the numbers, set a standing note. As soon as that paycheck hits your account, the same day it goes to your savings account. That's what we call the storing account. We store the money in that account, and that we'll be doing for long term. That would really pile up slowly. The third thing we do to avoid debt when possible. Okay, so what do I mean by this? What we realized was, right, John, furniture in the property, they're all finance, right? You got sofa on finance, fridge freezer on finance, TV on finance, everything in the house is on finance, okay? So thankfully it was about to end that, okay? The contracts were about to end. I said, okay, now going forward, no more debt. Avoid any bad debt. Any debt that's not gonna bring you money, don't take it. Right? So at that point, he was at the end of finishing his contract with those furniture. He wasn't going to go into any furniture. Now, if you're watching this, if you're one of those that want finance in everything, right? Finance on your mobile phone, finance on your sofas, finance your fridge freezer, all your white goods, everything in your house is finance. You need to stop that now. Why? I'll tell you now. This is very important. Write this down. It is not good for your credit score. Let me explain to you why. If you want to explain, if you want to invest in property, right? What the banks look at first is your credit score, right? They look at your credit for if it's good. If it's good, they then look at what loans do you have in your file. If they realize all your loans are for sofas, fridge freezers, TVs, Why would they lend you their money? Right? They say if you can afford to pay for a fridge freezer, if you can manage your finances enough to buy a fridge freezer or a sofa, how would you be able to manage £75,000, for example, that they've lent you to buy a property? Right? That's not good for your credit score. Right? It is not good because it's a bad debt. They know the only reason why you're taking this debt is because you can afford it or you don't know how to manage your money. So that is not a wise thing to do. If you are one of those people, stop it. Don't do it because it's not good for your credit. Go and buy what you could afford. Okay? Go and buy what you could afford. You're not literally dressing your ass out to impress people. Be yourself. Look for the long term instead of the short term. Okay? Next. So what we did also, we said build an emergency funds, okay? We asked him to build an emergency fund just in case something goes south. You've got a bit of money to actually help you. So what we did basically, we asked to kind of increase the hours he works at work. This is important. Increase the hours he work, maybe an hour or two. So that money you make for that time, save that for an emergency. So then I think he was going to make about an extra £250 on that. So we had another savings account. That savings account, £250 is going there for the additional work he does. Okay? So that worked really, really well. So in essence, we're about $650 a month, okay? Savings for raining days and for his investment journey, okay? And the next thing I spoke to John about was avoid impulsive buying. Now, what do I mean by impulsive buying? It's seeing something, as soon as you see it, you got emotion about it. Oh my God, I love this thing. I need to have it now. If I don't have it, avoid that, okay? That's what I told him. When you want to buy something, look at it. Don't see it the first day. Second day, ask yourself, do I need this? Is this going to add value to me and my family? Is this something that would really, really help my family upkeep? If the answer is no, eradicate it, don't buy it. Consider before you buy things like that, because this is the environment we're living in. You've got your phone, literally they're bombarding you with things to buy, right? As soon as you look for one item online, guess what? They're going to be bringing you lots of options of the same items to buy. Then you get emotionally involved, and guess what? You start spending the money. Right? Don't be that person. Look at it. Do I need it? Do I have to buy it? Does it really add value to me? Is this helping my family? Is this helping my finances? If the answer is no to that, you want to move on to something else. So that's one thing we eradicated in the family, because literally him and his wife, they're emotionally involved. They have this Amazon Prime. They say postage is free, right? Basically, whatever they see, you go on Amazon, start buying it. We eradicate that, move that away. That again was an extra savings for them, okay? Next, now we know they are doing really well with their finances. The next thing we do is to look on how to increase their income without actively getting too involved, okay? So what we've done is, we looked at him, we realized he had a bit of savings, right, that he's not been using. So what we did, he's already saved about maybe 3 or 4 months. I think it was 5 months. It's about £2,000 or so, right? So what we did, he had about £3,000. He had £5,000 at that point. So what we do now, we said, because we can afford, this money is not enough to buy a house, we can go and get a rent-to-rent property, okay? We went on getting a rent-to-rent property, a 4-bedroom house. The other room, we converted it into another bedroom. So he had 5-bedroom house, okay? We rent it room by room, and we rent that property out by providing landlord with a guarantee and renting out room by room. And that property is generating about £800, right? £800 to about £900 a month. So guess what happens now, right? He's got his savings going. He's invested his £5,000, right? Now he's not just making that savings, he's making that money that I've asked him to store. He's now got £800 coming in every single month. Put that together, you're talking about £1,300. So now he's got £1,300. I asked him, don't go on holiday. Don't go on buying expensive stuff. Don't go on doing all that. Save that money. He clipped that money up until he hits another £5,000. We went again, get another property. Okay, we went again, get another property. By the time he finished the year with me, he was on his 4th or 5th property, and those properties now generate him about maybe £3,000 to about £4,000 a month, plus his income. Okay, that's what you could do if you're able to control money. Okay? Money comes to people who show love to it. Money comes to people who likes it. Money comes to people who loves it. Okay, so think about that part. Okay, so what then we did. Obviously, he was educating himself at this process. So educating yourself is very important. He knew the problem. He approached me and I helped him resolve the problem. So basically, if you're in that situation, get someone, It doesn't have to be me, it could be anybody else, right? That you know that are doing better than you. Be honest to yourself, right? And basically get them to help you cross that road, because you might not do it alone. You know, you might not do it alone because of accountability, because you've been busy, because the distraction of how the world works, okay? So if you got someone to kind of check you up all the time, that gets you to go where you want to go. And regularly review your finances. Am I spending too much? Is there a way I could save a little bit more for my investment? Is there a way that I could make an additional income? So adjust as and when you get along, and then obviously create your financial fortress that way. I really hope this video has been helpful. If this video has been helpful, smash the like button below, subscribe to my channel for more amazing videos. I look forward to sharing the next video.